What is going on, guys? My voice is still down, but I will do my best to go through the new ending screen of the Krypt. There are so many things to cover, so let's get started immediately. First thing first, you can see that on the top left in the ending screen, you can see a quick description of the badge and the amount of dragon crystals you get for your run. Now, every single time when you unlock a new badge, you're going to get 10 dragon crystals, but that works only the first time. So, for instance, if you do dragon once, you're going to get 10 extra dragon crystals, but if you get a dragon in the next one, you won't be getting the bonus dragon crystals anymore. Once again, you only get the 10 bonus dragon crystals once you unlock the badge for the first time. Or in other words, once you get it for the first time. In the center you can see the badge you actually get for your run. By the way, if you don't know what the badge represents, it is your run, what strategy you use for your run. And then below the dragon, in this particular case, you can see that I got C grade for my run. We're going to get to the grades and the badges in a second. On the top right corner of the screen, you can see the amount of hearts you farmed, the amount of time you spent fighting. So it's not just what time it took you to go from one node to the other, it just basically represents the amount of time you took fighting. And all the way to the right you can see the percentage of the map nodes, or in other words map nodes interactions you did during your run. If you're wondering what that percentage means, I'm going to give you a very short example. If you have in your map in the Krypt 5 tombstones and 5 fights, basically you need to shatter all the tombstones, you need to fight all the fights in order to have 100% exploration rate, or call it whatever way you want, because if you shatter 4 tombstones and do 5 fights, then you're going to have 90%, and vice versa. If you shatter 5 tombstones but you fight only 4 fights, then you're going to have again 90%. So make sure that you open all the tombstones and you fight every single battle. With that said, let's jump into the badges. Basically, the badge represents the strategy used during the fight. The first one is Tarantula. Basically, it means that you mostly used one character in order to finish the fight. I tested that multiple times. The best way to showcase this is that basically I use Johnny Cage, Combat Club Johnny Cage, and I use the same team, the same strategy. And for the first run, I never used X-Ray. I just used special attacks, and I never attacked him out. And I got Tarantula as a result. However, then I changed my strategy. I used the same team, the same gear, but this time I was using my X-Ray every single time, because the gear setup I had allowed me to start with an X-Ray. So I would use my X-Ray every single time, and I'm going to end up with a dragon. Basically, if you have a team that relies on X-Rays, you're going to end up with dragon most of the time. When it comes to shark, you're going to get it if your team predominantly use dots. For instance, if you use classic reptile, most of the time you're going to get a shark. The bear is super actually interesting, because you're going to get it if you use revivals. So if your character dies and you revive him multiple times, then you're going to get a bear badge. The frog badge basically represents a horrible run. Usually I get it if I have very low percentage, let's say, map interaction. So in a way I quit the run very early, so I'm going to get a frog. Generally speaking, the frog is probably the worst badge. It is only good unlocking it, but then you should avoid getting it, because in a very often cases you're not going to get any dragon crystals for your run. And the last badge that you can unlock is the lion. You usually get it if you skip opening chests, the green chest and the gray chest. So which one is the best badge? It is without any doubt the dragon, because it doesn't matter whether your run is a C or a B, you're going to get 3 dragon crystals, while this is not the case if you end up a bear or a lion or a tarantula. You're not going to get that many dragon crystals if you have a very low grade, which is, for instance, C is the lowest. Now allegedly there is an S grade, but nobody ever got it. So for now we don't know anything about the S grade. However, what I do know, once again, the dragon in my opinion is the best emblem, and what I tested was that it doesn't matter whether I skip the green cases like chests, whether I skip the gray chests. If I was doing X-rays most of the time, I wouldn't get a lion, I would get a dragon, which is pretty cool. It seems that the dragon has priority over at least the lion. So if you have a team and you don't really in a mood to go go and open every single green chest, every single gray chest. Make sure that you have a team that do X-rays, and most of the time you're going to get dragon, which is going to guarantee 3 dragon crystals per run. At least this is what worked for me. When it comes to the grades, guys, again, a lot of you are going to ask, how do you get an A? And the answer is, I don't know. Definitely what I do know is that it has nothing to do with the speed of your run. So if you clear everything, you fight every fight, you shatter every tombstone, you get every chest, and you're super fast in the fighting, it's not guaranteed that you're going to get an A. Sometimes you can get even a C. So currently you're seeing probably the biggest proof of that. I got a frog because I decided to complete the run earlier by just beat the bosses. In the process I missed to fight 6 additional fights, and I got about 80% completion rate, so I get a frog, which is the worst badge, but I had to unlock it anyways. But somehow with the frog I got an A, and I never got an A before, which was the absolute craziness, because I tried to get an ace so hard. I tried to do super fast runs. I tried to get all the chests. I tried to get all the tombstones, everything, and I never got an A. I always got C or B. And the only time when I got an A was a case where I actually decided to basically beat the run earlier by just going for the boss, which is super weird. Once again, when it comes to the grades, please let me know in the comment section whether you have any observations of them, whether you found something about them, because it seems to me that they're given completely random. I mean, I tried so many different combinations, I tried to find a logic behind it, and I couldn't. What I did observe, once again, that in my opinion, the dragon is the best way to play the Krypt. So in other words, the X-ray team is the best weapon, because it doesn't matter what you do, you most probably are going to get the dragon, and the dragon is going to give you always 3 dragon crystals. Doesn't matter whether you get the C, it doesn't matter whether you get the B. So definitely, once again guys, one question for you: if you figure it out, if you know what's behind those grades, that's going to be awesome. The one thing that we managed to figure out is what's behind the badges and how you can go for a lion, how you can go for a frog. But once again, the dragon seems to be the best way to approach Krypt. So if you have X-ray teams, go ahead, use them, and make sure that at the end of the day you're going to get your 3 dragon crystals per run, which is super cool. In the long run, just imagine every single day, instead of 1 you get 3, and you do 2 runs per day. That's already 4 each day. That's 28 per week. That's almost 100 or even more than 100 per month, and so on and so forth. So yeah, if you can get extra dragon crystals for a Krypt run, make sure that you use an X-ray team. See you next time guys, and have an amazing rest of your day.
Perfect.